But there has never been a state where I can remember as like a Boston sports fan where every single team has some sort of issue that like I personally care about. The Celtics, you have Jalen Brown controversy right now. Are you going to trade him at the deadline for Giannis? The Red Sox are terrible. The New England Patriots are going into the season with a new scandal. Will they even have a head coach by the start of the season? It seems like the answer is yes, but that was certainly a question that was floated around. How is that going to linger over the head of the team? There's just so much stuff going on in Boston sports right now that also culminates in the fact that we're not winning, right? Which is kind of like that's kind of a pretentious thing to say, and I understand that, right? That like, oh, we didn't win a championship this year, so it's a disaster, right? But like, I
It's
don't.
kind of true,
It
though.
kind of is. It kind of is true. Yeah.
Well, actually, we literally went to a Super Bowl 4 months ago.
Good
So
point. That was cool.
it can't be that bad. But
Yeah.
I think you're right. Like I was racking my brain trying to think of the last time that we as a collective Boston sports unit did not have a team that was like championship level competitive, like
Hmm.
we thought the Celtics were this year. And it is the first time in our lives. And yes, we may be overreacting. Patriots just made a Super Bowl, but now they have this huge scandal that is like the talk of the NFL news
Yep.
and being exacerbated by the fact that none of them will come out and just be like, yeah, we had sex with each other for 5 years. If they come out and said that, literally everyone would be like, well, there's not much to make fun of anymore. Pretty much, pretty much
Yes,
did
we
everything
did
we
that.
could there.
Yes, that is my son. That is named after me. Um,
Oh my God. That might be what gets him fired, actually.
Probably, yeah. But
Um,
even on top of that, like now you have the league saying that they're not going to sanction people for talking about the scandal, like in their preseason stuff. Have you seen this? This just came out the other day.
what does that even mean?
Like in their promotional videos for, like how the schedule release came out.
Oh yeah.
They're
Like they're
just
going to
like
let
super
him.
fine with it. Yeah, no one cares. It's like it's kind of sick. It's kind of a baller
I
move.
think that's, I think that's fair.
Free shot at Mike Vrabel. Maybe that's his punishment. Maybe it's just like a humiliation ritual, right? Where they're just like beating the hell out of him every single day in the media leading up to a game. Um, I mean, he's still wearing his wedding ring, so maybe we should just like put this thing to bed.
And I mean, who knows, right? Maybe they've got that kind of relationship.
Oh
I'm not
God.
one cheating, but maybe him and his wife have some sort of arrangement that they had figured out, and maybe
Yeah.
Diane and her husband didn't quite have the same one.
Unfortunately, this is this. Well, I think that maybe the contrary because Diana Rossini and her husband are still together too. But I also heard that Diana Rossini's husband's the one who hired the PI to get the photos.
I mean, all of it's hearsay. We
Yeah.
can't really say one way or the other. Um, but I mean, it's incredibly disappointing from it's not like no one's angry about this. No
No.
one's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you did-" Whatever. Like, if either of them had cheated on their opposition with someone random, it would be a complete non-story.
Hmm.
It's just so wildly disappointing from both of them
Yeah. Yeah.
that like you have no credit. Like Diana Rossini will never work in this industry ever again,
Nope.
which is wildly disappointing from a like journalism perspective.
Hmm.
And a lot of people, when this first came out, were coming up to me and said, actually, I think this is a very important topic. They were
Yeah.
coming up to me and they were saying, this is misogynistic. Mike Vrabel's not going to lose his job or be punished, but Diana Rossini is probably never going to work again.
Hmm.
It's not misogynistic. It is incredibly unfortunate, but it is equally disappointing because Diana Rossini, for the last 5 years, has been a figurehead role model of her job.
Hmm.
She is the first NFL insider to be successful as a woman,
Hmm.
and she had reached the top of the top. She was Chef de Rappaport levels.
Yeah.
And she threw all of her credibility away for the one thing that as a woman in sports, you absolutely under no circumstances can do. And she
Yep.
has not only set back herself, but now she has set back all of women in journalism for the next. I mean, she's reversed all of the progress that she had made in her career, which was
Yep.
sizable and reputable. And
Which is
now when
unfortunate. Yeah.
women are trying to come through and earn these jobs in sports media that they're entitled to,
Hmm.
people will look at them and say, oh, maybe she's just like Rossini. That's not fair.
Yep.
So It's not misogynistic at all. She did the one thing that she couldn't do. If Adam Schefter was having sex with Sean McVay, he would never work again in the NFL either.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's just
there is
circumstance.
there is a weird boundary where it is like journalist to player or journalist to coach, where it's like you're kind of crossing a boundary of like what you make um for like what's credible, right? Because how are you going to write about somebody who you're in a relationship with? You're probably going to write about them more favorably than not. But I think you're right. Like, I think that the biggest victim of this whole situation, like you said, is women in sports. And people are going to be upset that Mike Vrabel is not getting fired for this. But ultimately, like, Mike Vrabel has to answer to Robert Kraft and to ownership and not to one of the biggest media conglomerates in the world, which is ESPN, who is trying to keep a very clean label about
No,
themselves. And
she was The Athletic, so it's New
okay,
York
The Athletic,
Times,
fine, yep, again,
arguably larger.
yep, again. So like it's the same sort of thing where it's like, you know, their reputation, they're trying to be reputable as a source, and like yes, there is certainly a second, like a different standard when it comes to the head coach not getting fired. But I think that everybody kind of knew that because, you know, the NFL has had these scandals multiple times. Robert Kraft has had these scandals, right? Where he's, you know, been a bit of a sexual deviant in the past, and there hasn't been anything that's come out of that. And that's because they answer to themselves. You know, they don't have to answer to higher ups or powers or people like that. And it is, like you said, um, a male dominated industry on the journalism side. And it's incredibly unfortunate that this is going to have a ripple effect for all women in journalism. And that's obviously
Absolutely.
the things that we want to fight against, right?
And
Because, I
that's
mean,
why it's so disappointing.
yeah, I mean, my girlfriend works in sports journalism. Like, it hurts her. It hurts, you know, your friends and all these types of people that, like, you know, you want to have the opportunity to work in professional sports. And it is incredibly unfortunate that you're seeing someone whose career is over, right? Like, there's no
And
way to come back from this.
no, it's not just someone. Like, it's not
Yeah.
just some random person. It
Yeah.
was the woman in sports.
Yeah.
That's
So,
frustrating.
yeah.
So I mean, that's all I have to say on this. I mean, do I think Mike Vrabel should lose his job? Probably not. If you take the person out of it, right? Like, head coaches have been cheating on their wives for millions of years. The problem is you're lying. You are lying to ownership. You are lying to your players, and you have to try and teach grown men how to be accountable when you
Yeah.
cannot do it
I,
yourself.
I don't
That's the
think
biggest
I
problem.
don't think Goodell is going to be like, you have to right, like the NFL is not going to sanction Mike Vrabel. You know what I mean? Like, there isn't that, like, the Ime Udoka situation happened in Boston the last time, it was because there
That's
was a
completely
company
different. Yeah,
Celtic rule, and then there's the difference between like the person being, I think she was even an intern in the building,
she
or
was
like she was
an athletic trainer,
okay,
I
she was an
believe.
AT. Right. So like that is a completely different scenario. It feels like than two full grown consenting adults who just happen to be in the same media space all the time. Right. Like I can see like from that background where you're kind of like, well, Mike Rabel is kind of a scumbag, you know, for doing that to his wife
Yeah,
and to his children.
yeah.
Um, but at the same time, like what is the sanction that they're going to bring down on him?
You
You know
just
what I
can't
mean?
look at it like I don't want to be the person who's sitting here like defending these actions, because I'm actually like, again, it's not about Mike Vrabel in this situation to me. You can look at him and you can be like, that is something that you absolutely under no circumstances should have done. And
Yep.
I don't want to sound like I'm defending him at all. But you can't look at one and be like, why is he not getting fired?
Right.
Because it's apples to oranges. You just can't compare the two. But do I think that this hurts the locker room? Absolutely.
100%.
100%. So the question I'm
100%.
going to ask you, getting back to a lighter light,
Yeah.
how many Patriots wins is it going to take for New England to forget that Mike Vrabel was cheating on his wife?
It's a very good question. And I think the answer is double digits, because if you've seen the schedule this year, we got some demons coming. The
It's tough.
Patriots schedule is really bad. The first 6 weeks of the schedule, whew, whew, I'm
It's
going to pull
tough.
it up
It's
right
tough.
now.
But it's tough. But also, I think it's not unfair to say that we may have one of the best offenses in the league if we can finish off these moves that we are still yet to make.
Correct. I think
And
that's right.
those moves are, and by the way, if the A.J. Brown trade gets done, people start to talk about football again in New England, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
Kyle Williams was supposed to switch from number 18 to number 8. And the day after Stephon Diggs was found not guilty because his private chef was a lunatic
Hmm.
trying to scrape him for all of his money,
Mhm.
He no longer said he was switching to number 8. Stephon Diggs is a free agent. The Patriots team loves him. Everyone was in his comments section saying, come back to New England. I would not be surprised if Stephon Diggs was wearing a Patriots uniform next season, and he is absolutely welcome in New England. Again, women trying to take athletes for all of their money, it should be a
Bad. Should be
imprisonable
a crime.
offense.
Should be a
Should
crime.
be a crime. We do
Um,
not stand for that.
should be a crime. I think that, yes, I think that you will see a push to potentially bring him back to the team. I don't know if you will do that, because I think that also and this is a fair thing with athletes, is like, if you feel slighted by a franchise, right, that they weren't like in your corner doing something like this, like maybe you have a different opinion on coming back to play for that franchise. That being said, they took him to his first Super Bowl in his career. This offense could be great come the offseason. They could be great. And that's the thing, is that like, if you bring in AJ Brown, which, hand to God, please make it happen. I've been so scared since the news
But
broke that
that's
it's
the
not going to happen.
Rossini-verse. It's
Yeah.
the Rossini-verse. That's the
Yeah.
insider trading. There is
I've,
actually like provable link that she had an effect on that trade, which personally terrifies me.
right. And I also hate that news came out in April, and it's like, we got to wait till June to see if this actually happens. It feels like the Eagles are gearing up the way that they drafted to lose AJ Brown in the offseason. They just don't know where he's going yet. And hopefully it's to the Patriots, because he wants to play for Mike Vrabel. I understand that. They were Titans together. It would be great for the Patriots to have a true wide receiver one. We say it every time that this comes up. You know, when's the last time that we had a true wide receiver one in this offense? Randy Moss,
Randy
right? Like,
Moss.
you
Randy
know,
Moss, yeah.
Wes Welker maybe.
Um,
But then again, like, look at this Patriots first 5 or 6 games. You got to play Seattle at home, Buffalo at
Seattle week
home.
1.
Yeah, Seattle week 1.
Why my light just turned off?
Uh-oh. Goes to the Seattle Seahawks.
Sorry about that,
Came in
y'all.
and hit that light
Yeah,
off
what
there.
the hell was that?
You got Seattle, you got Buffalo,
My bad, I
Chicago,
did it again. Hold on.
Detroit, and Buffalo again. You want me to run you through those again?
Yeah, sorry. Give it to me again.
Okay. Seattle, Buffalo.
Seattle week 1. What the hell? Hold on. My fucking light just died.
This guy, I'm just going to not say the Seahawks. Just remember that we play Seattle week 1 this time, okay?
Okay.
All right.
They who shall not be named.
They who shall not be named, or else Jack's light is going to turn off on screen. We got Buffalo. We got Chicago. We got
Can you give me weeks? Can you give me weeks here?
I can give you dates.
Yep,
This date's fine? Okay.
it's fine.
Voldemort, September 9th.
Damn,
And
that's
then
week 1.
Yep.
I'm back, by the way.
And then we go to Pittsburgh, September 20th.
That's easy.
Jacksonville, September 27th.
Yeah.
Buffalo, October 4th.
Yep.
Raiders is a win. Jets is a win. October 22nd, Chicago.
Tough game.
We beat the Dolphins. Green Bay, November 8th.
I think we beat Green Bay.
Detroit, November 15th.
Tough game. Do you want to go through and say win by win? Let's see how many games
Okay.
these Patriots win.
Here we go. We ready?
Let's do that.
We start with the
But
Steelers.
by the way, before we get there, just to touch on this offense again.
Yep.
A lot of people forgetting that we signed Romeo Doubs this offseason. So if you can have a
True.
wide receiver room of AJ Brown, Romeo Doubs, and Stephon Diggs, that is not only a 3-level wide receiver room. And by the way, you're still keeping all these guys that you've had. You're still keeping Kayshon Boutte. Still keeping DeMario Douglas, right? You still have this core.
Yep.
That is a 3-level offense. You have guys that will play at every level of the field, which is awesome.
And let's also remember that, you know, our running back core is coming along, right? Like Travion Henderson showed flashes of being a RB1, right? So I think you're looking at this offense and you're going, they're going to catch up to what's been an already great defense, right? The defense was the thing throughout the playoffs that got them to the Super Bowl. It was not Drake May playing football, and that's because he was playing 3 or 4 top defenses in the league every single week in and week out. But it was the defense that was great, and it doesn't seem like we're losing that much on that side of the ball.
And we're not. And we've drafted another rookie offensive tackle in the first round who looks, stellar. He looks like a phenomenal prospect from what I've seen.
Yeah, I
than
didn't
people
love
saying about him.
I didn't love what the draft guys said about him on the day, where they were basically like, "He's not very athletic, and he doesn't, he's not very strong." I was like, "Well, I don't really know how you become an offensive tackle if you're not good at being those
You
2
would
things."
not have been drafted in the first round if you were neither of those things.
But I don't
And
know.
from what
I
I've
guess
seen,
we'll
he
see.
has regular sized arms, which is
Okay,
huge.
that is big. That is
But
big.
if you're developing your offensive line, Hunter Henry's a year in and year out top 10, probably number 10 tight end in the NFL, which is
He's
great.
number 10 and number 12,
Yeah, number
yeah.
10 and number 12. That's the right range. Um, that's a phenomenal offense that we
Yeah,
just
very
said.
good.
And this is not Patriots delusion because we were far away from winning a championship last year. But
Yep.
that is a better offense than what we had last year.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, let's go game by game here. We're going to start I think white is away and blue is at home on the schedule.
Totally. Yeah.
Nope, it's the opposite. Blue is
That
away and
makes
white is
no
at home.
sense.
Um, okay, but here we go. We're starting with on the road at Seattle, September 9th.
I mean, that's a trap game, right? I don't know why we ever got scheduled for that. That is genuinely upsetting. Just got blown out in the Super Bowl. The exact next game that you have to play is when they hang the banner in your face in
Yeah,
Seattle. You have to think you don't win that one,
I'm going to
unfortunately,
mark
as
that
much
one
as I
down
would
as a
love
loss
to.
for us. I would love to win that one too. They always do those like Super Bowl revenge games, and
They
it
lost
doesn't
a
really
lot of
feel like,
people, though.
yeah, it
They
doesn't
lost a
really
lot
feel
of
like
people.
that's going to happen. All right, we're back at home. We're going to have our home opener against the Pittsburgh Steelers on September 20th.
I think we
I
get
agree.
over Pittsburgh
I think
Steelers.
that's
I
a
think we
win.
win. And
I
by the
think
way,
they still have a good
in this
defense.
hypothetical, I am saying that we sign AJ Brown
Okay.
and Stephon Diggs. That is what
Okay.
I have in my head for this
I
team.
gotcha. All right. We're going back on the road to Jacksonville, September 27th.
I think we beat Jacksonville.
I'm with you.
Duval's not like a hard place to play.
No, it's nothing
And they were
crazy.
everyone keeps talking about how impressed they were by Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars last year. I just
Hmm.
wasn't.
Yeah.
I thought that he is a serviceable quarterback who has absolute flashes of brilliance,
I thought you saw a
equally
lot
marked
from
by his flashes of like
mid. Yeah.
immaturity. So at the same time, I think that he is a top 15 quarterback in the NFL, but I would not put him in that top 10 range.
Oh, I think he's a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback. Do you think he's
That
better than
being
Drake
said,
May?
no.
I think Drake May is hanging around 10. I think that's kind of the
Really?
mark.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I just think that I think Liam Cohen's a really good coach. And I think that you can't take that away from them is that the fact that, they're going to get Travis Hunter back, maybe that he's learned that he can't play both sides of the ball. And he just plays defense and he's awesome because that to me is what's going to happen. And
No,
I
he'll
think
just play
this offense
offense,
is
if
coming along.
anything.
You think he's going to play wide receiver over cornerback? I think he's a better cornerback than he is a
No,
wide
he's a
receiver.
better wide receiver. Better
All
wide
right.
receiver.
All right.
But I mean,
Let's
to be
go.
honest with him, I don't care what he plays.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him fall victim to the bust talk.
Okay.
I would not like to see that person. I'd like to see him become good at something.
Okay. Cool. Let's move on to October 4th. We're back on the road at Buffalo.
On the road in Buffalo?
Mm-hmm.
I think Buffalo took a small incremental step forward
By signing DJ Moore.
by signing DJ Moore.
Yeah.
Which will make up for the fact that, in my opinion, I think their roster has taken steps back over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
They've had development, sure. But would you take DJ Moore over what you had in Stephon Diggs? Probably not.
Probably not.
Would you take DJ Moore over the Stephon Diggs that you got last year? Probably not. So I think that they have still taken a step back. Now they have a guy who is a fine wide receiver one, but this is such a Buffalo Bills move. I don't know how to say it otherwise.
Yeah.
They've
It's
signed
it's like an older
an
guy
even
out of his
declining
prime.
veteran receiver that they're expecting to be this perennial 1,000-yard receiver and save the Bills. But at the same time, they proved that is not a winning formula every year for the last 6 years. So to me, this roster construction is the same, if not maybe just a little bit better than they were last year. But I think that they're beatable, and I think that we have a good chance of getting this game in Buffalo. It may be on primetime too.
It is not on primetime. It's at 1 p.m., which is interesting for a division game that's very important to both these teams. Look, I hesitate to say that we're going to beat Buffalo twice this year.
Agreed.
So I don't know if it's going to come at home or away. It feels like the fact this game is played earlier in the season is going to favor the Patriots versus going to a super cold weather game up in Buffalo. So I'll give us this one. if you're feeling it.
I personally am not feeling it.
Okay. So we'll
Because
say
we
that the
went we
Patriots
went
take the loss
away
here.
away. We split both games away last year. That doesn't
Yep.
happen normally. I'm with you. I don't think we win both. I think that we take one, and I think it's at home.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna mark us down for beating the Raiders.
I think that's fair. That's
Um,
right around the time where Kirk Cousins would be leaving and Mendoza would be coming in. Look, they're going to be a bad football team this year,
Bad football
but
team.
Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza might be the same guy. They might be the
Yes.
same person.
Did you see that?
Did
Did you see the
you
photo
saw the
shoot?
video of
Yeah.
them
Okay.
redoing the they
Yeah.
did the Step Brothers promo for their schedule release, and it was
Yeah.
very funny. They're
Awesome
very
stuff.
similar
I
guys.
like both of them a lot. I don't think I really don't think Fernando Mendoza is like that good of a quarterback prospect. And maybe that's just because I'm a hater, but I think that he was throwing to 26-year-olds on that Indiana team who were just like, 5th and 6th year dudes playing against like juniors and seniors in college. And yeah, it worked out. They won a national championship, but like I don't know if his game really pans out at the NFL level. I guess we'll find out.
I
Because
like him as a
people
guy
really
a
like
lot,
his
but
leadership. I'm the same.
he's walking into a bad
One of the
situation.
worst situations in the NFL. I'm also going to mark us down for a win against the Jets on October 18th.
Yeah,
Is that fine with
of
you?
course that's
Okay.
fine. Yeah, of course.
All
Who
right.
do
So
they
we'll
have
take
Justin
that.
Fields rocking again?
I don't know what they're doing. I think they signed Geno Smith back.
Oh, you're right. They did sign Geno. Yeah, that doesn't move the needle. Yeah,
Nope.
still.
Nope. And they didn't draft a quarterback this year because their quarterback prospect didn't come out. It was the kid from Oregon. I don't remember his name.
Oh,
Something.
Dante Hall.
Dante Hall.
Smith.
There you go.
One of the two.
Dante Hall or Dante Smith?
I think it's
Dante Hall.
Smith. Dante
Is it?
Hall. Ooh, we are nowhere close here. Who is the
Oregon quarterback.
Dante Moore.
Dante Moore. We were close. Dante Hall is a former NFL player.
Yeah.
Wide receiver and return specialist. Awesome. All right.
That's
October 22nd.
Dante Hall's human joystick.
Yeah. October 22nd is a big game in my house. Chicago Bears at Chicago at Soldier Field. I'm with you.
I think we beat the Bears.
I hate the Bears.
Alex, who will you be rooting for in that game?
I'll be rooting for the Patriots heavily. Heavily rooting for the Patriots.
Hey, is this the year that you finally determined that you're going to be a Patriots fan?
I'm going to be big on the Patriots this year, it feels like.
Okay. All right, that's good because you've kind of just been dipping your toe in the water for the last 21 years. You finally going to jump in the deep end?
It's because I need some joy in my life, and it didn't come from the Celtics this year, so it's got to come from somewhere. November 1st, we play the Miami Dolphins. Again, going to mark that one down as a win.
Who's the Dolphins quarterback right now?
I have no idea. Is it not still Tua? Did they trade Tua?
I don't think that anyone would ever trade for Tua.
Let's look up Dolphins.
It's Quinn Ewers.
Malik Willis. Malik Willis.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. They did sign Malik Willis. Yeah. No, that's actually really fun. They might get a couple wins that people aren't expecting.
They might be pretty good. I like Malik Willis a lot, actually.
I like him a lot too.
Speaking of him, we go to Green Bay, or Green Bay comes to us, actually. Yeah? Green Bay comes to us November 8th.
I think we beat the Packers.
I do too.
I still just don't really like this Packers team.
Yeah.
And I don't get the hype. I hear about them way more than I should be for the amount of output that they have. I just don't quite get it.
I think it's LaFleur. I think LaFleur is just a good head coach. You know what I mean?
Phenomenal. But he hasn't won a thing. He hasn't won anything.
Yeah. I think like people want him to be Sean McVay, and he's just not Sean McVay yet.
Didn't he almost get fired after last season?
They were really bad at the end of the season, but at the same time, their whole defense got hurt. Really, like Micah Parsons didn't play half a year, right? They traded everything to get him.
I get it.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. We're going away again to the Detroit Lions on November 15th. This is a morning game in Munich, by the way.
Oh, come on. We're doing the Munich shit still?
We sure are.
Do you remember what happened last time we went to Munich?
I don't.
Mac Jones threw a game-losing interception on the goal line to lose to
against
the
Raiders?
Indianapolis Colts.
Okay. All right.
My roommate flew out to Munich to watch that game.
Yep.
Gotta say, we're not really a Munich team. We're not a
I'm going to mark this one down as a loss.
That's probably a loss. That's probably a loss. And Amon-Ra St. Brown's German. He's like the German guy.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. That's good to know.
Yeah.
For any of you guys who are out there sports betting, maybe take the Lions on this one because Amon-Ra St. Brown is going home to the land of beer and bratwurst, Munich, Germany.
Take the Amon-Ra over on everything
Okay,
in that game.
which probably the lines aren't out yet, which would be good. Bye week 11, week 12, we go to Los Angeles on November 29th and play the Chargers in a rematch of the first round game that we played.
I think that's a win.
I agree.
Do we have any primetime games this year? Surely.
We do. Chargers is primetime.
On Sunday?
I can't tell if this is like a midweek game or not. Like, it doesn't tell me what the day of the week is. And then we have primetime against the Bears, primetime against the Seahawks.
Seahawks will be
And
Thursday night because it's the opening.
and we finish with 2 more primetime games.
Oh, nice. So I bet we are the Monday night football team of the NFL this week.
Potentially.
That feels like what we got.
Okay, so now we're back at home against the Buffalo Bills here, December 6th. I think we get one done. I think we get one of two.
I think we win.
Marking that one down as a win. We're back at home again for a primetime game against the against the Minnesota Vikings on December 10th. You think it's a win?
A win. Yeah, it's a win.
That team to me feels strange because I have no idea what they're getting. You think he's gone?
I think he's gonna go. I mean,
Okay.
why would he stay? Why should he stay?
It's another great team from the NFC North.
He's actually really he's like never been a problem.
Mm-hmm.
He's been like the anti-diva wide receiver for someone who's as talented as he is in that city, and they have rewarded him with absolutely nothing besides trading Sam Darnold. And
hey,
why should he stay?
Patriots need a wide receiver. That's all I'm going to say.
We could definitely
use one of those guys. We could use one of those guys. Okay, we're now back on the road, December 21st, primetime game against the Kansas City Chiefs.
No Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to say that's a win.
Okay.
What time of year is that?
That is December.
Okay,
late
so,
December.
I mean, it really depends on how the Chiefs are doing. If they're good and maybe going to make the playoffs, they'll bring Mahomes back. If not, he probably will miss the whole season. I'm going to say they're not going to be that good. I'm going to say we win that game.
Cool. I'm with you. I'm going to mark the Jets down as a win for us.
Yep.
January 2nd or 4th to be decided. We played the Denver Broncos at home. I don't really know why that's a weird one.
It might be a loss.
Yeah. It kind of feels like the typical late season loss.
Game.
Yep.
Yeah, that feels like a late season loss.
We'll take that one as a loss and put that down. And then finally, I'm going to mark the Miami Dolphins down as a win, which brings us to a record of 13-4 for
it's not
the
like
Patriots this year.
As hard of a season as I would have thought, to be honest.
It's very hard.
There's a lot of but we just gave ourselves 13 wins. Obviously, we're fans. There's a lot of 50-50 games that will be decided by whether or not the Patriots are a good football team or a fine football team.
Right.
I think that you can kind of pencil them in around 9 or 10 wins, but if they play to their ceiling as they did last season, they could definitely be at 13 wins.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think that anything we just said was like egregiously biased.
I think 13 wins is probably the absolute maximum for this team this year, but you're right. Like, there are some games in here that are going to be very 50-50. Like, I think that Lions game, I think that Vikings game more than we're letting on. I think
Bears game.
The Bears game will definitely be one of those.
The Chargers game.